So what is the best lure in the spring? I go back and forth between several different things, but I always land on one specific item. And that's what we're going to focus on today, because I think that with us being in a very stingy period, it's going to be the ticket to possibly pulling some of these fish out of their little haunts and eating. So classic day on the river doing some spring fishing. Oh my goodness! We're on a rock bass here today. Dude, I just had a fish bust bait in front of me. I'm gonna try this spinner bait. They're eating like really little. They're eating like really little bait in front of me. Watch, I'm gonna throw the spinner bait and catch one. Oh my gosh! Dude, it's just a giant spot. I say giant, it's big. Dude, he was in the current. Switched to the spinnerbait because I saw him busting on bait and caught this little spotted bass. So, dude, he was right in the current. It was like he was waiting for something to come through there. I think that we're gonna catch one out of this bubble trail. I made it easy for you. Yeah, like, do you see to my left there? It's, oh, I just got hit right there. Like, it's deep right there. You see where it's like green and, oh my gosh. That's a rock bass. Look at that. So I'm heading the river for the first time this spring, shockingly, and we've already caught our first fish. That is a nice rock bass. Look at the fins, got the black outlines. Probably getting close to spawning, but that was just on the spinnerbait. So we'll get her back in, but I brought a spinnerbait because this time of year where they're chasing the little baits, you gotta have one. And we caught that nice rock bass on it, so.
I don't know if it stirs the bait up or if it just makes them less leery or both.
Oh my.
Giant!
Well, we seem to be putting on a rock bass clinic today with every bait. That's kind of funny. Yeah, you see how it's swirling? Oh, there we go. Oh, dude, that's a solid smallmouth. He was shallow. Oh, it's a big spot.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. He's not hooked super great, but I'm just gonna boat flip him. Dude, he was right up against the fish. Look at that. That's a solid little spotted bass. Probably like a 15 something, maybe. Thought it was a smallmouth, but then it was not. It was this thing. Honestly, that pretty much sums up the way fishing's been going. Think you catch a smallmouth, ends up being a spotted bass. I thought he was a little bit bigger. Spots tend to feel bigger. Ah, no bites down that, which is, that's insanity. Can't seem to buy a smallmouth, but it's spotted bass all day apparently. So let's talk about the spinnerbait we're using. We're catching quite a few fish on this. This is the Booyah Covert spinnerbait paired with a Yum Covert trailer, which is actually kind of an old school trailer. If you remember the Hank Parker Man spinnerbait, it's actually quite similar to that. And I actually really like that. I've caught a lot of fish on that when I was little. So that's what we're throwing today, and it's working out really well. So let's see if we can find some smallmouth. Oh, another spot. Oh my goodness! That was such a vicious hit. Oh, I couldn't catch up to him. I know. Well, I mean, it was just crazy the way he hit it. It wasn't, you know, I knew it wasn't a giant, but another fat little spotted bass. So that's all we've caught today on the spinnerbait. I've caught one on the glide bait, and then I caught a rock bass on the glide bait. So, man, that was an aggressive eat. Dude, that was one of the most vicious strikes I've had this year. All right, I'm gonna put the deeper down. This area actually looks really good, so I'm gonna scan it and then go back and fish through it. Some good depth here, 8 feet, 66 degrees. We should be able to slow roll a spinnerbait on the bottom and pick up one of those fish. There's a fish right there. Oh my goodness! About freaking time. All right, there's our first smallmouth of the day. That's a pretty smallmouth. I'm actually really surprised to notice that it's got a lot of mud on its belly. Usually by this point in the year, they're not doing that. So might have to change our tactics a little bit, but spinnerbait has been the quality bite. Solid little dude. So that was our first smallmouth of the trip, and we got him on the spinnerbait. I think I'm actually going to take the little bitty glide bait off and put the swag on. I noticed mud on its belly. I think these fish are still kind of glued to the bottom, and maybe we can entice a bigger one up with that. So tactic change based on what I saw. This log looks really enticing. Oh boy. Nice. That's a solid fish considering how poor the day's gone. So I saw a log pull over here. We'll talk about this fish. So one of the things I noticed coming through on that last fish was the mud on its belly. I threw this and let that spinnerbait drift down a log, and he popped out from underneath it. And it was a really good strike. So truthfully, I think spring can be a really challenging time for a lot of people, myself included, especially on the river where the fish are spread out. I love throwing a spinnerbait because it's such an easy meal, and it's not like you'll catch little ones with it, but you also catch nice ones like that. And that's just on that bone spinnerbait. I've been a big proponent of that the last, I don't know, I guess 2 seasons now, and I definitely think that we're gonna have to change our style. So I think a lot of these smallmouth are still kind of, seem like they're glued to the bottom would be the way I would describe it. I take 5 or 6 of those. It's weird. Oh my goodness! Oh, it's a bargee! Oh! Oh! It almost jumped back out. Dude, he absolutely crushed that. But that is a pre-spawn large. He just crushed the spinnerbait. Oh my gosh, if everyone ate it that hard, I would be so excited. All right, there we go. Awesome largemouth bite. I don't know, that's like maybe a 17-incher. It's not as big. He's just fat, and the way he ate it, I thought for sure he was gonna be a mondo. But spring is sometimes hard to figure out. I'm just fishing wood real slow. Seems to be paying off. It's kind of those lessons that you learn in spring, is that just because it is spring doesn't mean you're guaranteed you're gonna catch a lot of fish, even if you try. So let's see if we can get some more. There we go. Yeah, it's gonna be a largemouth. Oh, he's off. Quick release for a quick little dude. He was in the boat. That's all that counts. I think we should pull over right here and we could fish this by foot. So I'm out of the kayak, I'm drifting this little TRD fatty. Just through this current here and I caught another rock bass. So it's been a rock bass day. They're a fun species for me to catch. I actually really appreciate them, especially here in the Ozarks. So. We are on a rock bass heater today.
Jeez.
Look at that. Another nice one. I love this kayak for standing. There we go. Out of the hole. Yeah, boy. Dude, it's another rock bass as we go through this. All right, that's like our 10th. It's like our 10th rock bass. I wish my front cam was working. Bridge. No, it's like a. Oh my! Oh, please! Oh no, it's not as big as I thought it was. Dude, he was just pulling. Oh, dude, the way he hit it, it was just like, oh yeah. All right, we got another smallie on the old spinnerbait. Spinnerbait, spring. Spinnerbait, spring. I was just burning it. Dude, that was a giant. Oh, dude, I just had a giant grab this. I almost wonder if I throw the spinnerbait if he eats it. Well, it seems that we can only catch rock bass. So I just missed a giant smallmouth back there. And then I catch another rock bass. They must be like getting ready to spawn or something.
Mean mouth.
Oh yeah, you did. Dude, I just lost a giant back there.
It was huge.
Oh, it was massive. Dude, I think it was as big as that one I caught in the fall. Yeah, you can tell it's a mean mouth, trust me. Dude, I'm getting swept away. Oh, he's off. No, I think it was a spot. No, another spot out of the wood. So I've got the pattern down. Spinnerbait, wood, spot. Spinnerbait, wood, spot. Spinnerbait, wood, spot. If I would have just stuck to my guns and thrown the spinnerbait and that riffle back there, I probably would have caught that smallmouth that we missed. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
I just remember this being further down. I want to say it's either this spot or the next spot down. There's some wood rock, and that's where I caught a real nice piece.
Oh, there we go. Our first wog ear of the season. It's a beautiful fish. Ozark wog ear. Probably the prettiest. Yeah, I don't think he likes taking that though. Oh my! That was a good... Oh! I mean, this is like nothing. Sometimes you just gotta go old school, and that's what yesterday was. A good old-fashioned, old-school spinnerbait bite. I'm gonna show you guys the exact combo I was using because this is actually kind of a throwback. This is an old-school combo, and I don't know why more people don't do things like this. So Yum just came out with this trailer, which is the Yum Covert Trailer. Super simple name, and it is nothing fancy. It is literally like a little nub here with two little tails. And you actually have a piece there. You can see that line on the front where you can actually break it and make it shorter. So if you want to put it on something like this and have it dangle all the way in the back, you can, but you can also cut it right there and then you get a much shorter one. So if you're throwing something like a little small finesse spinnerbait, this can be either size. So you don't have to buy two different sizes, which is dope. But if you remember, I pointed out earlier in the video, these were super popular. The Hank Parker Mann's spinnerbaits came with two of these, and I loved them. I used them all the time. That was my go-to. And then I kind of switched to a no spinnerbait trailer guy. So I was using the bone color specifically. This is the bone color right here. If you need any proof that I've used these spinnerbaits, take a look at that. But this is a sick pairing. And truthfully, guys, it just goes to show you a good old-fashioned spinnerbait with an old school trailer on the back can still catch fish just as good as anything else. Now, that was a tough day, truthfully, for as many miles as we floated. And I did allude to a little bit that I'm dealing with some shoulder issues, which is really kind of weighing me down a little bit. It's the first time in my entire fishing career I've dealt with something like that. So I'm trying to kind of take it easy the next few weeks. I'll definitely be fishing, but how I'm going to do it, I don't know. I think a lot of it is posture. I need to realize I'm not 22 anymore. I think that's the moral of the story. But if you guys haven't tried this spinnerbait, I've been using it nonstop the last 2 seasons. Go back and watch all my old stuff from last spring all the way into this, and you'll see that this bone plus this, you know, all the covert spinnerbaits from the finesse sizes all the way to just the normal ones, even, you know, the more bright colored gaudy ones. I absolutely murdered smallmouth on this last post spawn too. So it's an all year bait for me. Really loving this combo. Super subtle, which is what I like in a spinnerbait. Now, if you're wanting to go in like super muddy water, you could consider something else like a paddle tail or something like that. But I mean, it's hard to beat this. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Old school still gets it done.